Hello. My name is Melanie Green, and I'm going to be leading you through a 20-minute yoga routine today. So get what you need to be comfortable to start. If you have a blanket, go ahead and grab a blanket to sit on. And if you have a block, you can grab a block. And if you have neither of these, that's okay too. So we'll take a moment. Close your eyes. Let's begin by transitioning from whatever came before to this moment, landing in your body, noticing the sounds and activity around you, and letting that go too. Letting go of your shoulders, dropping your jaw, and dropping the contents of your mind. Allowing yourself to be here now. Take a few deep, slow breaths. And on your next inhale, bring your palms together. Release your arms and switch across your legs. And we're going to start with a slow warm up, moving the head around in circles. You can have the eyes open or closed. Let the shoulders relax. And make sure that you're extending the neck as you take the head around, especially when you take the head in the back direction. And we'll go in the other direction. Always connecting with your breath, noticing the sensations in your body. And bringing the head back to neutral. We'll roll the shoulders up and back and down. The head rolls and the rolls of the shoulders are super helpful if you do a lot of repetitive work on the computer or playing music, sitting and driving in a car, even spending a lot of time in the kitchen. And we'll go the other direction with the shoulders. Keep coming back to your breath. And we'll roll the hands and wiggle the fingers. Stretch out the arms. And we'll make our way to hands and knees. So if you have your blanket, you can go ahead and open it up on your mat. Place it underneath your knees and come and place your hands on the ground. Spread out your fingers. We're going to exhale around the back, release the head. And inhale. As you come into the inhale position, lift your head and your chest and let your lower back relax, but try not to lift the tailbone too much. And then exhale, round the back, scooping out the belly. And inhale. You can move on your own breath. This is called cat and cow when we have the head lifted and the back arched. This is cow position. And when we round the back and release the head, this is cat position. I want you to stay strong through the abdomen. And pay attention to your breath. One more time, inhale, lift the head and the chest. And then curl the toes under, reach your hips, excuse me, back towards your heels. Scoop the belly and lift up into a downward facing dog. And go ahead and move around a little bit in your downward dog. So bend one knee, straighten the opposite leg, and shift and switch. So downward dog, we're trying to get the spine long. So for some of us, we might want to bend the knees so you can really stretch out the spine. And then if your hamstrings will allow, you can begin to straighten the leg. Begin to slide your feet back, taking a longer stride, so that when you inhale and shift your weight forward, you can be on your hands and knees or keep your legs straight. You're going to come into a plank position. So in plank, we want the hips neither lifted or dropped, but they're kind of in the line with the head, the shoulders, the hip, and the heels. We're going to exhale, downward dog. Scoop the belly, inhale forward into plank. Exhale, back to downward dog. Do this a few times. Inhale forward into plank. If you're on your hands and knees, it would look like exhale, shifting your hips back. Inhale, coming forward, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, shifting your hips back. Inhale, forward over the wrists. And then go ahead and come back to downward facing dog. We're going to lift the left leg up high. Then bend the left knee and guide the left foot in between your hands. And coming into a lunge position. So in our lunge position, we're trying to get the knee forward over the ankle and the heel reaching back. And if you had your block handy, you could bring your block inside that front foot as you stretch the front knee forward and the back heel back. Lift the head and the chest. And we're going to slowly bring that back knee onto the ground. You may want to walk your front foot forward a little bit more if the knee is coming too far over the ankle. And then we're going to let that back hip release as much as you're comfortable. And you can either keep the back toes curled under or you can point the toes, whatever is more comfortable for you. We're going to turn towards the bent knee, stretching through the opposite side of the hip and the waist. And then we're going to turn away. And you're going to just take your time, do this a few times. When we turn towards the knee, the bent knee, we stretch through the waist opposite. And then when we turn away, we're stretching more through the inner leg of the bent knee. You can have the eyes open or closed, connecting with your breath. And then make your way back to center, firm through the abdominal muscles, firm through the glutes, and we're going to straighten that front leg as best you can. Take your time and try to leave your foot on the ground to start. You're going to try to get your spine as extended as you can. So extended spine means that your chest is reaching away from your center. Rounded spine means that your chest is reaching towards the center. So try to lengthen here. You can bring your block higher, and if you need something even higher, you could bring your hands to your hips, or even if you had a piece of furniture handy. That was Moose that just walked by. Take a few breaths. And then we're going to lift the toes and slide the heel forward. And again, you can always lift your block on its higher side, or you can come down with your hands on your mat. And then bring the foot back onto the ground, bend the knee, you can slide your hands or your block forward right inside that foot. And now we're going to stretch the back calf. So lifting that back heel and stretching that back heel back. Breathing here. We're going to bring that back knee down. And do one more stretch here. You're going to let your weight come forward and you're going to let your back leg lift and you're going to stretch and then come back. Front leg comes back, curl the toes, come back into downward facing dog. And then again, slide your feet out to take a longer stride. We'll inhale forward into plank, scoop the abdominal muscles. Exhale back into dog. You can always bring the knees down and move with the knees down, back and forward. Back and forward. And then go ahead and come back into downward dog. Lift the right leg up. Then bend the right knee and guide the right foot in between your hands. If you have your block, it will be right inside your foot. Begin to let the back heel shimmy back and the front knee reach forward so you're getting that long stretch in your lunge position. Take a few breaths here. And then slowly bring the back knee down. And we'll begin to let that hip release. Making sure that the front knee is safe and that you're not putting too much strain on the front knee. So now we're going to twist open away from the bent knee and towards the bent knee. Away from the bent knee and towards the bent knee. A few more times. Connecting to your breath. And then we come back to the center, firm the abdominal muscles and the glutes, and we're going to straighten that front leg, stretching out the hamstring. Trying to keep that foot on the ground to start, keeping the spine nice and extended. You might feel a stretch across the top of the foot or the outer shin. Breathing in and out here. We want to feel the hamstring stretch in the belly of the hamstring. So we don't want to feel it underneath the sits bone or behind the knee. If you ever feel it there, bend the knee back off and then come back into the stretch. Then we'll lift the toes. You might want to slide that heel forward. Breathing here. If you need to come up higher on your block, you can. Or again, you could be lower on the ground. And then bend that knee. So this is kind of a interesting stretch we're going to do. You're going to lift the back. So you're going to bring the knee down, let the foot come over, lift the knee, bring the foot over. And then we're turning and looking towards that heel. And then bring the knee back, bring the foot back. And go ahead and rest back in child's pose. Sitting on the heels, stretching out the arms, relaxing the forehead. This is a great way to release the spine, to stretch in the hips. And then come back up. Take a moment on your hands and knees. And then we're going to come up onto the knees. You're going to place one leg on the ground so that you're in a 90-degree angle from the shin to the thigh. And then curl the toes of the other foot. You're going to press into your knee and lift yourself up and bring your back foot forward. And then you can move your blanket out of the way if it's on your mat. And if you have your block, you'll scoot that up towards the front of the mat. We're going to inhale, stretch the arms out and overhead. We're going to exhale, take the weight into the right leg and lift the left leg back. If you can, we're going to lift the leg parallel to the ground with the arms reaching back by your side. We're going to bend the right knee and step the left foot onto the ground. Lift the chest and the head and lift the arms up. Warrior one. We're going to exhale, take the arms wide, look over the front hand, reaching through that back foot. Take the back hand to the hip, turn the front palm face up, and reach that arm back overhead. Exhale, the forearm is going to come to the top of the thigh, and you're going to reach that left arm overhead. Breathing here, big stretch through the side of the body. You're going to inhale, place this left hand down on the ground or on your block. Lift the back heel, so we're back in our lunge position, but now we're going to open the right arm and come into a twist. Looking up through the top arm. Then inhale, bring that hand back down. You're going to step the back foot forward. We're going to inhale halfway up, lengthening, lifting the head and the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Have your hands somewhere on the body or on the ground, but there's a little pressure through the hands. When we come all the way up, we come back through that halfway up position. Keep lengthening all the way up, firming the thighs, the glutes, and the belly. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead, and exhale, release. So I'm going to tilt my screen so that you can see my upper body for this next one. Inhale, arms overhead. We're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to lift the right leg back, parallel to the ground if you can. Bend the left knee, step the right foot back on the ground, and we're going to stretch the arms overhead, the knee bent. Exhale, take the arms nice and wide. Look over the front hand for warrior two. Turn the front palm face up, take the back hand at the hip or the thigh, and stretch that left arm overhead. Exhale, forearm comes to the top of the thigh. Try to get the thigh parallel to the ground and reach the right arm overhead. Inhale, the right hand's going to come down to the ground or your block. The back heel's going to lift, and the left arm's going to open. Inhale, bring the left hand down. Bend the back knee, step the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. When you come up, come back through the halfway position. Firm the glutes and the belly and the thighs, and then come all the way up. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead, and exhale, release. We're going to do that again. Inhale, arms overhead. This time we're going to take the arms wide, so parallel to the ground. We're going to lift the left leg up and try to balance here. If your back will sustain it and you want more work through the core, you're going to stretch your arms forward. If that doesn't work, you're going to keep your arms out to the side. Bend your right knee, step your left foot back. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, extended warrior. And exhale, side angle. Forearm to the top of the thigh, the left arm reaches overhead. Inhale, left hand down. You can keep your heel down or lift it up. Open the right arm. Inhale, the hand's going to come down. We're going to lift the back heel. This time we're going to slide the front foot back a little bit so that we can lift the back leg. Slowly lift the torso and come all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Take the arms wide, lift the right leg. Keep the arms wide, or you can extend the arms forward. Bend the left knee, set the right heel down, stretch the arms up. Exhale, Virabhadrasana B. In Virabhadrasana B, the front heel's lined up with the back arch. It's a longer stride. Back hand's going to come to the hip or the thigh. Inhale. Exhale, forearm to the top of the thigh, the right arm overhead. Inhale, take the hand down to the ground or a block. You can leave the back heel down or up and open up through the left arm. Inhale, hand down, back heel up. Slide the front foot back a little bit. You're going to press into that back foot and try to lift back up through your warrior three. And then come all the way up, arms up, and exhale. Separate your feet, let your knees soften, and we're going to let the arms wrap around the body. You want to stay nice and firm through your center. This is a way to release some tension and get a little twist in the spine. Let go through the arms. And then we're going to shift our weight into our right leg for tree pose. You could be at the inner ankle, at the inner shin, or at the inner thigh. And you can stretch your arms overhead or have them out to the side. You're pressing the straight leg up into the foot, and you're pressing the foot into the straight leg. Breathing here. And release. We'll come into the second side. Taking your time, placing your foot where it's appropriate, and then pressing that leg into the foot and the foot into the leg. And exhale, release. Go ahead and have a seat back on your mat or in your space. Take a pause here. Notice how your body feels. And we'll go ahead and lie down on the mat. Have your knees bent. Take your feet apart enough that your knees can relax into one another, and your pelvis and your hips and your lower back can be at ease. And you can either stay here in this position, or you can go ahead and stretch out your legs for Shavasana. Take about 10 breaths here. Allowing your jaw and your belly and your thighs to relax. breath to deepen. And bend your knees again. Roll to your side. And when you're ready, bring yourself upright. Bring your palms together. Thank you so much for joining me for your practice. I hope that you feel connected and nourished. May you be peaceful. May you experience joy. May you be protected from harm. May you be healthy. And may you love and accept yourself always. Thank you so much. Namaste.